I wanted to talk about the banner towing accident in Hollywood, Florida. There's a video on it. I'm going to link it to this in the description. 20-year-old guy trying to start his own business of banner towing, you know, like with a tail dragging airplane where you tow the banner up and down in front of a beach or over a populated area to advertise a service, a restaurant, a product. My thinking is, now, you know, when I make a statement of fact on the subject of banner towing, it's speculative because it could be an educated guess since I'm a pilot. But there are so many things about this accident that surprise me after all my years involved with aviation. I used to be, when I was on the beach and I'd see a banner being towed, you know, up in the sky, I just thought, is there a better, easier way to make a living than being a pilot like that? I had no idea how hazardous and how dangerous it is. I mean, it is ridiculously dangerous, and it doesn't have to be. Anyway, so this guy in Hollywood, 20 years old, he only has 20 hours of banner towing experience. You should have at least 100 before you really go out on your own. The insurance companies told me that. So, looks like we've got an airplane lining up for takeoff. Oh, all right. So, so the banner towing involves tail dragging airplane. Why it's got to be the tail dragger, I'm not sure, but tail dragging airplane. And it looks to me like the planes are underpowered. And you know, the idea is to do slow flight, 60 miles an hour, maybe 60 knots, while you're towing this thing. I mean, cruising speed typically in a Hawk, in a Skyhawk or a 152, I'm always like at 85, 80, between 80 and 100 knots. These guys are flying at 60 knots, like a few knots above stall speed, okay? That's danger. Picking up the banner, so you take off and then you circle back and you go and you dive and you get real close to the ground and then you drop this hook and the hook picks up the banner and you fly away with it. Well, that's a huge drag. And you're picking up something that's going to slow you down severely. And so they got to pull the nose up and juice the power. Give me more power than I need, okay? And I'll decide how much I'm going to use. These airplanes look ridiculously underpowered. Brand new situation with this guy in Florida, 20 years old. I don't know if it's his airplane, but he's 20 years old and he's getting into doing this. He picks up the banner okay, but there's trouble as soon as he gets away from the airport and he's trying to fly towards the ocean to go up and down in front of the beach. So he's flying over a populated area to get to the ocean. These banners are heavy apparently, and if you release the banner over a populated area, it could kill somebody. You got to be kidding me. You can't design a banner that's light and rigid and able to, you know, to do the job, but being light enough to, if you know, you shouldn't be able to fly over populated areas with something that if you drop is going to kill somebody. And so this guy didn't want to drop it. He wanted to try to get to the water, but then he realized he couldn't get to the water. Here comes. The hell is that? That's a P-51. No, it isn't. I don't know what that is. That's a turbine engine. Single prop. Could be a Pilatus. Wow, that's smooth. That was really smooth, man. See, that was not a, you could tell that was not an ice engine. Smooth, man, turboprops. That's an interesting concept. So he, you know, very low experience. And the pick of the banner is very dangerous because that hook, man, it could catch a tree root or something. You don't know what it's going to grab on the ground. And you have to be going really fast too when you pick the banner up off the ground. This is so stupid. They should just have it rolled up on the airplane, and when you get up there, you let it unfold behind you instead of picking it up off the ground. That's an archaic, obsolete approach to this issue, to this situation. So he picks it okay, but he's got engine trouble from the get-go. He finally has to release the banner, and as soon as he does, his it's like a Piper Cub, a little more power than a Piper Cub, I suppose. As soon as he releases the banner, the airplane turns over, dives into the ground, and kills him. And then if you get this video, which is a profile of the accident, but this guy brings in a girl who's an expert on banner towing. How cool is that? You know, women are really making their niche now and making a name for themselves in aviation, because here's a woman that does banner towing, which I would never have expected. And if you watch enough aviation videos on YouTube, cockpit videos of, you know, the big boys, 737 up to a 747 or 380, a lot of them are women now. And hallelujah to that, unless they got to take on an unruly passenger. Which, I'll tell you what, she should, all the pilots and all the flight crew on airplanes should have pepper spray. They should definitely have, and it should be Bear pepper spray, so you're sure it's going to do the job. You know, instead of dealing with these assholes, you know, put them down, the cops throw them in jail for a couple of years, or the rest of their life. Can't F around in an airplane, okay? Where there's like a bunch of other passengers, and there's a lot of safety issues. Anyway, so the banner towing. So when you pick up the banner, it's incredibly dangerous. But then when you drop off the banner, it's dangerous too. How can that be? You have to approach the airfield with the banner, and then you get over and low and over the airfield, you have to release it, but you have to have a lot of power in, because if it doesn't release for some reason, you remember Murphy's Law, if it can happen, it will. If it doesn't release, then you got to climb out towing this banner again. So you better have enough power to do that. And if you can't release the banner, then you got to land with the banner attached to your airplane. It doesn't take a genius to look at that and understand that there's got to be a better way. Come on. Come on. This is the way we've always done it, so that's the way we're going to keep doing it. That ignorant, it's a wall of ignorance, you know. I would say Donald Trump should be the poster boy for the wall of ignorance. You know, I put his picture on the wall of ignorance. What do you think? And I can go piss on it. And I apologize to my Republican friends, but the entire Republican Party owes our country an apology for what happened on January 6th. They should be out groveling for support. And instead, oh, that was just a few people being excited. It was treason. It was treason. And you guys better be careful, man. When you commit treason, it's a hard thing to wiggle your way out of it. And the January 6th perpetrators and Rumpadump did wiggle his way out, but in my opinion, they're all traitors and they should be in jail facing trial for treason. That's my opinion. My father took a bullet and shot down eight Messerschmitts in North Africa in World War II, and he didn't do that so a bunch of morons can wreck our Capitol building where our elected officials conduct business. You know, I'll leave it there, because I hate getting wrapped up in hate and contempt. I've had too much of that in my life, you know. I'm looking for beautiful things that can make you feel good and things that can contribute to a feel-good kind of day. That's really what I'm about now at this point in my life. So anyway, I gotta get my dog out. Harvey, you want to say hi to all your fans? Your girly dog friends? Harvey wants to be a chipping dog, exotic dancer. And he's working on his moves. And I'm trying to encourage him in that direction so maybe he can get a career and help pay some of the bills. That dog should pay some of the bills. PCO. I love you guys. Anybody that loves flying and aviation, we're kindred spirits. And I don't really, regardless of your political beliefs or point of view, if we're together on flying, that's the most exciting thing in the world, I think. Peace.